Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. Let's get started tonight. The owner of Bark Rescue Pub is growing more frustrated with the level of property crime his business is seeing, and he wants the Spokane City Council to step up and address the problems. He spoke exclusively to KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk for this story, new at 10.
There's a lot of reasons why people come to Bark, a rescue pub. Brunch, lunch, dinner, and of course, the dogs. But the popular restaurant has also attracted some unwanted business over the last 3 months.
Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be as much attention as there could be on the protection of the business's personal properties.
Restaurant owner Josh Wade has had gas siphoned from his commercial van and another gas tank drilled into.
About a month prior to that, we had one of our other vans that actually was stolen and then recovered the same day thanks to the great work of the Spokane Police.
This morning, he woke up to an email from staff saying one of their outdoor igloos had been slashed overnight.
I think there's just a general sense in District 2 that there isn't as much of a problem as there actually is.
Wade also owns Nectar Wine and Beer in Kendall Yards. He doesn't regret starting businesses downtown. He just wants city council members to take more action to address the problem. He sent an email to council members, including Council President Brian Beggs, who shared with KREM 2 the email he sent back to Wade. Beggs says the city council has not been quiet on the issue, highlighting the fact that members funded a new downtown precinct, added additional officers, and increased pay to attract more law enforcement. Adding to that, Beggs said, quote, "Still, we have crime, including at my home where my vehicles regularly get broken into. This is frustrating for all of us, and we have more work to do." Wade certainly agrees with that last sentence.
I drive through downtown daily, same route almost daily, and nothing seems to improve.
Even though Wade is frustrated, he told me he still believes in downtown and is planning to invest in another business. He's just not quite ready to go into detail about it. Reporting in downtown Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Kyle, thank you so much. New tonight, the Eastern Washington District of Washington's U.S. Attorney's Office has been chosen for the United Against Hate program. So here are the details. That program aims to advance anti-hate crime efforts. It would connect law enforcement with traditionally marginalized communities and to build trust and encourage hate crime reporting. The district is one of 3 others chosen out of 94 nationwide. Let's transition now to weather because it was still pretty chilly today, but we could be seeing some warmer temperatures this weekend. Meteorologist Jeremy Lagoo joining us now. And Jeremy, how high could we see those temperatures get?
Well, we could be in the 50s as we head into the weekend. That little guy right there, that's Ham. Adopted him here on actually the noon show. But anyway, yes, we could get into the 50s as we head into the weekend. Right now, temps in the mid 30s here in Spokane. Feels like the mid-30s with a light wind right now, and that's kind of the case across much of the region. Mid-30s just about everywhere, and depending on where you are, you have either a mix of clouds and clear skies, or just clouds, or just clear skies. Here in Spokane, we're starting to see it clear out just a little bit, and we'll continue to see that as we head through the remainder of the day, or evening at that. Getting this transition to night side, a little difficult at times. Here's what we see. Clouds, they hang on through tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, watch what happens. We start clearing out and it's sunny and in the 50s. Seriously, it is. And then we'll see those showers build back in after dark tomorrow. And those stick around as we head into Sunday morning, eventually becoming scattered as we move through the day on Sunday. All in all, it's shaping up to be a great weekend. Mid-50s with a mix of clouds and sun on Saturday. Breezy conditions, and then we'll see that wind hang on as rain sticks around on Sunday.
Jeremy, thank you so much. Moving on now to tonight in Ukraine, Russian forces attacking 2 military airports. Troops that started outside of Kyiv have branched into towns and forests, indicating an attack could come. This as Russia forces conducted airstrikes in residential neighborhoods, hitting a kindergarten and an apartment complex. The World Health Organization estimates 18 medical facilities have come under attack since the start of the conflict. Meanwhile, President Biden announced a ban on Russian seafood, vodka, and diamonds. We now move on to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. It's the last day of Washington's indoor mask mandate in less than 2 hours. Starting at midnight, the statewide mandate that has been in place for more than 600 days finally lifts.
I think it's just going to be good. I think, again, everyone's going to be on the same page. I'm hoping that by the end of this year we can maybe be, fingers crossed, just kind of done with everything and kind of cycle back into life.
KREM 2 spoke with a few Spokane Valley businesses who have survived the ups and the downs of the pandemic. They say it's a relief they'll no longer have to worry about masks. Coming up in about 5 minutes, we'll share more reaction to the mandate ending. Today marks the end of Washington's 60-day legislative session, and there are several notable bills waiting on a signature from Governor Jay Inslee. One would ban the sale, manufacturing, and distribution, as well as importing of gun magazines with a capacity of more than 10 rounds. Another bill imposes new fines on catalytic converter thefts, requiring certain documentation when a catalytic converter is sold. Finally, Governor Inslee says he'll sign a bill that'll make pickleball our official state sport. Providence unveiled a new art installation today, honoring all of the caregivers who've been treating COVID patients the last 2 years. Project Portrait took 6 months to put together. It includes more than 1,200 portraits of doctors, nurses, medical assistants, and other caregivers. The display traveled to Providence hospitals across Spokane and Stevens counties in January before returning to Sacred Heart for permanent display. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text the word NIGHT to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them right to your phone. And in Northwest News tonight, Spokane County Sheriff deputies investigating this evening after a man in Geiger Heights was shot on his property this afternoon. The man's wife called 911 saying she believed her neighbors were doing target practice and one of the bullets hit her husband. He was conscious and alert while being loaded into the ambulance. Deputies were on scene interviewing those neighbors to determine what happened. The sheriff's office says no arrests have been made at this time. The body of a man missing since early January was found in the Spokane River. 40-year-old Steve Annis was reported missing back in January after he didn't show up for work. People close to him say this was uncharacteristic for him. The cause of death has not been released yet. Governor Brad Little officially filed for re-election today. Governor Little's campaign manager says he had record support for any gubernatorial candidate at this point in a campaign in the history of the state, with almost $1.6 million contributed to his campaign from nearly 2,700 contributors. Little said, quote, "I am committed to continue working on behalf of all Idahoans to strengthen our economy, invest in education, and protect our values, so everyone will have the ability to build careers and raise their families here in Idaho," end quote. Spokane County Sheriff Ozzie Knezovich recently fired one of his longtime deputies, Craig Chamberlain, for misconduct surrounding a character reference letter Chamberlain wrote for a volleyball coach accused of child pornography. Today, Sheriff Knezovich said Chamberlain could be decertified as a law enforcement officer. But would that prevent Chamberlain from running for sheriff? We verify. Requirements to appear on the ballot, according to Spokane County Auditor Vicki Dalton, and state law include the candidate needs to be a registered voter, live in the jurisdiction in which they're running, and the candidate must file to run and pay the filing fee before the deadline.
If a former law enforcement officer has been decertified, they can still run for sheriff in Spokane County.
From everything that we have in front of us, yes.
So we can verify that even if Chamberlain is decertified, he could still run for sheriff. Now, to be clear, Chamberlain has not been decertified. We reached out to Chamberlain today. He says he's focusing on his campaign and moving forward. He also told us he plans to pursue legal action against Knezovich for disclosing what he called private health information during a previous press conference. 2 women died and multiple people injured after a car crashed into the outdoor seating area of a D.C. restaurant. Officers believe the driver, an elderly man, lost control of his vehicle right before crashing. Of the 11 people injured, only 3 have been released so far. Tonight, 6 West Point cadets are recovering from overdoses on fentanyl-laced cocaine. This after they were on a spring break at a Florida vacation home. Right now, 2 cadets are on ventilators. West Point released a statement saying they are aware of the situation and the incident is currently under investigation. And that was KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. But don't go to bed just yet. Coming up, with the mask mandate ending, Businesses share how they're feeling about it. We're back in just 90 seconds.